All right, all right, all right. Welcome back to another episode of Between the Sheets, What Lies Between the Pages. I'm your host, Dorothy O'Dell. We started this amazing podcast because I believe that romance novels are the number one genre out there. Actually, I just don't believe it. I know that's true. It's funny because I had my cousin send me this podcast from CBS News the other day saying, hey, there's a reason why romance novels are number one, and they're blaming COVID. I'm like, dude, I've been reading these things since I was 16 years old. But anyways, enough about me. I am super excited because I met another Canadian author. And yes, there is tons of authors around the world, but when you get in touch with Canadian authors that you didn't even know anything about, and then you read their stories and you're like, how come I didn't know about you? And that's why I want to shine a light today on Tess Watters. So welcome to the show. Oops, there we go. House of Fight, only click it
Hi.
once.
Yeah, that's okay. I can have multiple introductions. I'm fine with that.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello. So welcome. I met you at Rose City Romance
I know, just over
last
a week
weekend.
ago.
Yeah, a week.
Yeah.
It's only a
Yeah.
week.
I
So
know. I know.
wait a minute. I read that many books in a week.
You did. Yeah, you burned right through them.
I burned right through them. Wow. So, well, like I said, welcome to the show. And before we get into the nuts and bolts about your books, tell us a little bit about Tess.
Hmm. Well, I am currently living in Ontario, but I'm from Nova Scotia, born and raised.
Oh, nice.
So, moved here just with, my husband's job. And I have two little kids, and they are amazing. And that is why I have discrete book covers for my books, is because of them. Though they are like my biggest supporters, they don't know what's in my books. But they, if I'm walking around in Walmart, like they'll definitely be like, "My mom's an author." I'm like, please stop, please stop telling them, because I don't want people like, I don't know. The second book's pretty spicy, so
It's
yeah,
freaking
that's
amazing.
yeah, thank you. So I started writing. So the little piece that you mentioned about COVID. So 100%, I read romance way before COVID, but I do think that COVID opened up the younger generation to romance, and because I know for 2021, like that was like my year of reading. That was my self care. I read 170 books that year, and then I had like this little thought. I'm like, I could write a book. And I was like, no, you can't. Like, who do you think you are? You can't write a book.
And she can.
You apparently, yeah. I'm just, normally I never finish any of my projects. I love to start. I'm a daydreamer. This was really like the first thing that I finished. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Anyways.
Oh, okay, so that is absolutely phenomenal because I'm the type of person, I'm a dreamer. I can give you dream like the nuts and bolts all day long, but to actually can finish it,
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
struggle with that.
hard.
So
Yep,
so
it's
I'm
hard.
I'm glad you said that. I'm not the only one out here
No,
that has that
no.
issue.
No, and like to be honest, like that starting things, like that's been my whole life. My whole life has been like that. And I did get tested for ADHD. However, like though I have very strong tendencies, I didn't meet the criteria. I'm like, okay, okay. So I don't
Uh,
believe that, but that's fine. It is what it is. So but I was just, I don't know, like I talk a big game. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna blah 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 blah, and that's what my yada yada is, blah 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 blah.
right,
And it's I didn't think it was going to amount to anything, and then it didn't stop. So
right. Well, and I have to say thank you for doing that and completing the projects because okay, so I know you said I went to Amazon to get the covers, but they are the
mhm.
spicy covers. Are you okay if I show the spicy covers?
Yes, oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yep. And
Okay.
they're not even like that spicy, right?
No, they're
Like
not.
I've seen spicier ones. So
Right, exactly. So the first book in the Men of Styre Cove is Over the Moon with Aubrey and Wolf. I tell you,
Hmm.
that is so cute. I could not put it down. He is
Yay.
so romantic. It makes me sick. But I mean, he's the type of man that you would never assume would be that sweet and romantic.
Hmm.
And I don't want to say too much because I don't want to ruin it for your readers. The
Hmm.
next one is Under the Stars. Oh my gosh. I
Yep.
This one I was just like, I think I started it and I stayed up
Woo.
till midnight to read it. And spicy, yes. I don't know what you want me to say about it other than the fact that it is hot,
You
hot,
can
hot.
you can say anything. That's
I can
but you
Okay.
can say anything you want. Go ahead.
So the BDSM in this is absolutely amazing. And who knew that using that could actually help in real life with different things? Now,
Hmm.
I don't want to give it away, but just to go to these clubs doesn't mean it's like completely all about sex. It's also about
No,
healing from something traumatic that
100%.
could have occurred, right? And so with Nate and Violet there, I have to say though, and I don't want to say too much because it will give the ending away. But
Yep.
at the when, anyways, I don't want to say it because it gives the ending away. But I almost was in tears when
Were you
he,
really?
yes, close to the end when he's trying to get her to say it and she
Say it.
won't say
Yeah.
it, and
Yep.
I'm just like, oh come on. Like just say it, and it has to be him, and
Yeah.
like you don't know, but you do know, and so, anyways, I won't say too much because I don't want to spoil the ending, but I was just
Hmm.
like, oh, just say it. But
Just
anyways,
say it.
so, and then the third one in that
Hmm.
trilogy is Into the Sun. Uh, Definitely Harper and Jack. I mean, isn't he just the best? Like he's the guy
Yeah.
that we wish everybody was like.
Well,
He's so sweet.
he's so sweet, and but he's
Yeah.
also like a complete, like, can I swear on this? Like, am I
Yes.
allowed to? Okay,
Absolutely.
he's a shit disturber. So like when you follow him through book one and book two, you see all the things that he kind of instigates to get his friends to stop being idiots, right?
Right.
And then he's like basically an idiot himself when it comes to Harper.
Exactly.
So, and like one of the things, so something I 100% love in my books is I like that morally gray man, but I don't like it to be too far where you're just like, I can't forgive that. So when it comes to some of the things that he meddles with,
Hmm.
and but then later you find out that I'm trying not to give it away for my people either. Later you find out that like she wasn't even following that thing anyways, so like they're always so on the same page but not
Yes.
always communicating that to each other. So
Well, and that's a great segue into communication is key in all
yeah.
relationships, because I
Hmm.
know in my marriage, I mean, that's the one thing that we both work on, because it's not always easy to have those conversations, right, with your
No,
spouse, and
no.
you think that conversation is going to go one way, and it actually goes completely the other way,
Yeah.
um, like anyways, I don't wanna, but yeah, so I binge read all 3 of those books
I love it so
in
much. I love it so
in
much.
in 2 days, and I left reviews up there on Amazon, but go
Thank you
check
for that,
them
by the
out.
way.
Absolutely. Go check it out, and I asked her, I said, "So when is, Evan's,
Oh, Eben, yeah.
when's his story coming out?" And then you tell me not for another year. I'm, like, disappointed.
Oh, yeah. So, well, let me kind of explain a little bit about that because like my writing process, because like the first time I wrote anything was Over the Moon. That's the first thing I ever wrote. Um, I I didn't have, I think maybe when I was 15 I had this idea that I was gonna write, and then but I didn't have any idea how to be a writer, or and like once again I like to start things. I got like half a page and a little bit of character development and I'm like, no, it's not coming easy to me. I'm not gonna do this. Right. So everything just kind of started in 2022, right? The beginning of 2022. And it's been a bit of a process kind of going through and figuring out what it is that I was going to do. So when I first thought about writing a book and actually following through on it, I sat down and I'm like, what am I going to write about? And I had like my little notepad. I'm like, I like forced proximity. I love banter. And I'm like, okay, that's all I got. No story ideas popped into my head. So I was like probably a couple of weeks later, I was walking back from dropping my kids off at before school care, and an idea popped in my head. And then throughout the rest of the day, it developed into what is now Over the Moon. But the initial idea is actually Eben's story. So
Oh,
his story has been sitting in the back of my brain since 2022. So that's 4 years now that that's been hanging out, and it has felt very distant to me. So like even when I sit down to try to write it, nothing was really hitting the way that it needed to. Um, so I've shelved it until I get a few other things out, and then I'm going back to Evan because I can't leave it. Like he has so much more to do with the Men of Styre Cove series than what we've gleaned right from the book. So he's,
right.
like one of the jokes in the first book, because there's many jokes in the first book, is about like, oh, what are you in the mafia? He's not in the mafia. However, he is tied, like Wolf is tied to Eben 100%, and Eben's definitely got some stuff going on. So it's like all of that, and I kind of have a wolf origin story in mind, so that can actually kind of um, explore his relationship with Eben when Wolf was younger. So that's hopefully going to come out too.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Hopefully, I'm one of the first ones to know about it. So,
yeah. Well, yeah.
but yeah, and I, I don't think I've been that hooked on a series in a while. Um, so kudos to you for somebody who
Thank
said that,
you.
they don't generally finish the project, and there you
No.
finished three that are like, can't put it down, gotta read this to the end, want the next book in the series, let's go. So
Oh, thank you.
absolutely. So when you're writing, is there anything that you do? Like, do you have music playing? Do you have anything in the background? Is your favorite drink
Oh.
there? What is your favorite drink? Things like that.
So my favorite drink is actually here. So I just drink Diet Coke. So I tend not to have food with me when I'm writing because then I just focus on eating whatever that snack happens to be. But if I have a can of pop, I always have these headphones on, the ones that kind of block out as much of the house sounds. The family is usually quite respectful. So, but I have a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old, and my office is in between their two bedrooms. So sometimes they're like yelling at each other through the rooms. So I always have something on. I'm currently writing a paranormal story, and so my playlist is very dark. A lot of bass. I don't really have necessarily like favorite people to listen to. I prefer it to be kind of um, like not mainstream stuff because then I'm just getting the vibe from it, and then I can put that into the scene. So if I'm writing a scene that is really dark, I want the music to match that, because if I'm doing something that's really sweet and then I've got that bass kind of thumping in my ear, that doesn't fit the vibe. So I've got a couple of playlists that I kind of work around with. But when I wrote Over the Moon, I couldn't listen to anything because it was the first thing, right? It was the first one I ever did, right? So I needed absolute silence. Um, but one of the biggest things with my routine, out of all of that, even if I don't have a pop, if I don't have music to listen to, I have to write in the evenings. I can't write during the day. It's just
Wow.
like, yeah, so like if I have a day, if it's a holiday, or I just happen to have, if I'm you know if I'm just happen to be in the house by myself during the day, I cannot write. It's got to be in the evening, it's got to be dark, and I don't know why.
Well,
So
as long as it works, whatever works,
yep.
you know?
Well, I finished like when I finished Over the Moon, it was 3:30 in the morning. And I took a picture of like my face with tears streaming down, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed now. So no, it's gotta be nighttime. It has to be dark.
Well, and then the kids are in bed and, you
Yeah,
don't
everything's quieting down, and like I don't know, like we're like life is busy, right? So I
yeah,
take my kids to like their activities in the evenings, and um and then I'll ask my husband, I'm like, you want to watch TV? And he's like, do you want to write? I'm like, yeah, I want to write. He's like, okay, you go write, and then he'll go and he'll play video games or something like that. But
right.
sometimes I pay attention to him. It's rare though.
I love it. My husband plays video games as well, and so uh, I there was a point, I don't know, about 5 years ago that I spent way too much time in my office,
Mhm.
and he kind of made a comment about it. So since then, I've been kind of cognizant to at least spend an hour each night out in the front room.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely been some moments where I was like, "Hey, like, I'm gonna go write," and then within 20 minutes, he's like, "Can we watch a show now?" And I was like, "20 minutes? That is not enough time for me to get in the mindset of writing." So, like, my first 20 minutes, probably my first half hour, is me just, like, pulling up my documents. I've got Instagram on the side because I've met some amazing author friends, and so, like, I've got them over there on that side, and I'm telling them that I'm sitting down to write, and I get all of the encouragement from them. So like it takes
Cool.
me a bit, and then I also like I check my ads to see if they're failing, which they most likely are, because figuring out how to market a book is the hardest thing in the world. Um, I wish that I could just write and not have to worry about pushing my book. I really, really,
Right.
really wish I could do that, but that's not the world we live in, and that's fine. And
Right.
like it's I don't know. I used to think so. I don't know if you remember seeing my PA that was at the table with me.
Yes.
But yes, she is absolutely amazing. She made that weekend work like if I had to do that by myself, like I would have panicked. So she kept me on the straight and narrow, and she's actually the reason why I started writing in the first place,
Yeah.
because she's written two books, so she's just fine tuning them before she publishes. And so, like, knowing that there was somebody there doing the same thing that I wanted to do,
Mhm.
that really pushed me. Um, but anyways, I have now just gone down the path of talking about random things, and I don't remember what my point was.
You said what started you writing was your friend, but what I
Yeah, but I don't know
find,
why I said that.
well, because you said that marketing the books is the hardest part, and that's
Yeah.
funny. That's
Oh, I do remember. I remember. Thank you so much,
You're
Dorothy.
welcome.
Do you remember the conversation we had before you hit record?
Yes,
Yeah.
vaguely.
So that's hitting real hard, right? Like my memory is like I write everything on post-it notes. Um, but it's and I lost it again. See? Okay, go on to something else, please. Whew. It's been a day.
I'm glad. It's almost like we're like soul sisters because I swear this happens to
Yeah.
me all the time. So just take a 10 deep breaths, and I guess take a drink of
Drink.
Coke,
Okay. My top is
and
gone. I'll drink some
I'll
water.
no, okay, drink some water, and so actually that's funny that you brought that up though. That marketing is one of the hardest things because
Yes.
every author I talk to, I say, how can we support you? And they're like, the worst part about writing a book is getting it out there and marketing.
Yeah.
So I get that. So I'm trying to come up with a formula and a plan to help our authors here, um, to help with that because I wrote a book too. It wasn't a romance novel, but that's been my challenge. I'm like, and then I never want to talk about my own book
Why not?
because I
We're gonna
just
talk. Well, we'll talk about your book before the end because I want to hear about it.
well, anyways, it's just one of those things where I can like promote the crap out of everybody else, but when it comes to me, it's like I feel like I have a harder time with that.
Yeah.
Um
Yep.
and the fact of the matter was, like, this show was supposed to be based on like every genre, and then I'm like, I'm tired of doing things that I don't want to do in life. Like when you hit
Yes.
my age, I'll be 50 in July. When you hit my age, you're like, I'm tired of doing what I have to do. I want to do what I want to do. And I want to talk about
Hmm.
romance. That's what I want to talk
Yeah.
about. I
Yeah.
want
Let's
to talk
do it. I love
about,
it.
and that's why I decided after RCR that this show would be 100% all about romance novels.
I love
Um,
it.
and so, yeah, so thank you for sharing your, like, thank you for finishing and sharing your passion, because
You're
with
welcome.
without you doing that, like, millions of people would not know about these stories.
Yep. Well, and it's one of those things, like it is one of the big, it is the biggest genre. And I think that there's this terrible stigma on it. We're like, oh, well, women write it for women, so it's not really literature. Like, why don't you read the classics? I'm like, so the classics are romance. And I've had this conversation with my husband because, like, every show that we watch, there's romance in it,
Mhm.
right? Like, you may not want to call it a romance. Oh, sorry, my air quotes. You may not want to call it a romance, but it is. So like we're watching like all these action movies because we don't watch rom-coms together. But we watch like action movies. I'm like, there's always a love interest. See, look, he's got the woman at the end. Ta-da! Like that's romance. And it's no different than the stuff that I write. So
Right.
it's funny.
See, now, isn't that the truth? Because everything boils down to boy meets girl, guy gets girl, guy gets woman, they live happily ever after, blah blah blah, or someone dies at the end, one or the other. Which,
Yeah, yeah.
which, I'm finding that even though it's a romance novel, doesn't mean that there isn't a story in there or that you can learn something from it. Because
Mm-hmm.
each one, like, I would have never have known if I didn't read the middle one there, Under the Stars,
Under the Stars. Yep.
that different therapies can be used, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
so it doesn't have to be, your basic social worker or therapist. It could be whatever works for you.
Yep.
And so I find that if people actually had an open mind instead of a closed mind and a closed heart, that things would be a lot better.
Well,
But
and the thing is that what romance is, and I think maybe this is why a lot of people hate on the miscommunication trope, which I don't like either, because for the most part, if you're an adult, you tend to have conversations. Um, is that it's all about interpersonal relationships, right? And that's everybody's looking for a connection, whether it be romantic or whether it be with like-minded people or what have you. And that's the thing is, at least with romance, we're just really pinning down the connection piece.
yeah,
So, and there may just be some fair bit of spiciness in there too. So yeah.
or me, like spicy. I like spicy.
Yes, I
Um,
like spicy as well.
and so that is so much fun. Did you remember what you were going to say? Just I
Yeah,
wanted
I
to be
wrote it down. I wrote it
okay.
down. So
Okay,
it says
cool.
introvert. So for the longest time, I thought I was an introvert, but really, I just don't like leaving my house. So I love talking to people, and I remember like I don't know if you experienced this when you were younger, but like when like going to the grocery store with my mom and my mom talking like to the people around us, and I remember being so embarrassed. And I'm like, oh mom, stop talking to those people. And now I'm that person. I'm the one that does it. And all of the author friends that I have, the only reason that we are friends is because I'm the one that was like, hey, I write too. Pay attention to me. What do you do? Where are you from? Right? Like
Right.
that's like I'm the one that's made all of those connections. And so is my friend, my PA that came with me to the event. She's an introvert. And so she was like doing a really good job hiding behind, and but she was exhausted for me because like I had to be essentially kind of turned on for the whole day. I did really good till about 3, and then like she could tell that like my face was starting to kind of droop a little bit, but I thrived that day. And talking to you that day, like that was amazing. And one of the first person at my table was a PA for another author who brought her copies of my books to my table to get signed.
What?
And I almost lost it. I was like, you know who I am? Like, I still feel so very unknown. And like when someone says that they read my book, I'm like, oh my God, you read my book? Did you really? It's as if it's like the first 10 people that have ever read it, because
Mhm.
I'm just here. I work from home in my little tiny town in Ontario, and I've done the one event. I don't do lives on Facebook. I like on TikTok or anything like that. I barely post.
Mhm.
So, but I don't know. I'm definitely more introverted than I thought I was. I'm an extrovert, and I didn't know. But
Well, it's funny because I just learned there's such thing as an omnivore, where you're extrovert and introvert. You
yeah,
can be both. Obviously not at the exact same time, but and I believe that is what I am because I can. It's funny. My girlfriend says you can walk up to anybody and say and start a conversation. Like
yeah,
I
you did,
admire that,
and you did. That's
and I
how we
did.
met.
That's
You're
right.
like, hey, I'm Dorothy. I'm like, how are you?
Uh, and it's funny because you wouldn't believe how many people actually wanted to have that conversation. And because I'm there talking about you, I'm asking things about you and what it is. And it's funny, I should have done a better job of looking up all the authors before I went to the event, but I didn't. I'm the type of person
That's
that
all right.
just like to walk into a room and then figure it out. Like I don't want to do I have a cousin, I love her to death, but she has to research everything for days before she'll do anything. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't have that ton of time. I work full time. I have two shows. I run up my house. I don't have the time. I don't like I like to be surprised.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely one of those, like, in the 11th hour, that's when I'm like, I should probably have done stuff for this. So like my PA, like I had mentioned, you know, I forgot that she is someone who needs like the plan. And I'd asked her like forever ago to come with me. And then as it's getting closer, she's like, what roads are we taking? I'm like, I don't know, wherever GPS tells me to take. Right. And then she's like, what hotel are we going to be at? I'm like, oh, I should probably tell you some things. Right. Like I was just gonna be like, I'll pick you up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't really worried about those things.
Mhm.
Years ago, I used to investigate, like, what does the parking situation look like. I would go and do the Google view, so I could, like, the Google Street View, so I could see what everything looked like. I don't do any of that stuff. No,
Good for you.
I'll
Now,
find out when I get there.
that's
Surprise.
surprise.
Yeah.
That is so funny because I just can't believe how similar we are in a lot of different ways because I
Hmm.
am the same way. Like I needed a roadmap for everything. Now I just don't care and I'll just enjoy the ride
Oh my
when I get
god. Oh
there.
my god. The map. Okay, so again, my PA, she is like just like right on like lists. She did so many lists for me while we were there, and then she sent me like this email. It was absolutely perfect. Her brain just works that way. And did like so I'm just using the GPS on my phone, right? And doesn't she have like a map of Ontario, like southern Ontario? And you know what? I made fun of her for it. And then we had to like use it a couple of times because I wanted to avoid Toronto. Um, so it was actually like really good, but I totally made fun of her for taking it. But it was very smart of her to do so. So
Well, there you go.
put the two of us to get to like together. You've got an extroverted person with all the plan figured out.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's what I need. I need somebody that could run with my ideas. Like here's my
Mm-hmm.
idea, run with it and do it.
Yep. Yes. Exactly.
Oh, I love that. So, what is next for you?
All right. Okay. So like book release wise,
Book.
or
Well, anything
yeah.
you want to share. Yeah.
Anything? Okay. Well, Over the Moon has a an audiobook already. Under
Ooh,
the Stars is getting an audiobook. So the it is a duet style, and it is Andy Eloise. So she did Aubrey in the first one, so she's going to be Violet, and E.M. Wild, which is a Canadian male narrator, is going to be doing all the male mask voices. Andy's already recorded her piece. I'm just waiting for EM to record his pieces. So we're looking at June for the release on that. I'm
oh,
very excited. Um, Book release wise, as I mentioned, I'm writing a paranormal story. It is like pretty much like the first draft of it is almost done. Um, but being paranormal, it's not my wheelhouse. It's a story that I felt I needed to tell. It because it kept coming at me. I had to like it's like it literally talks to you. So when people say that authors are a little crazy, yeah, there's like the voices in my head. But let me tell you about that because I am really excited.
Cool.
Um, so it's basically about, it's called Death's Darling, and it is about Death falling in love with a human for the second time. So he lost his beloved like 400 years ago, and he's been reaping souls, doing what he's supposed to do, but really just going through the motions. And he's ready to, hang up his hat, I guess, in that sense. And but he ends up running into someone who can see him when he's hidden in the shadows. So he becomes very intrigued by this woman, and the more he's around her, the less he can control his own abilities. So it's about love, it's about loss, it's about finding love after loss, and there's lots of little twists and turns in it, and I'm really really excited about it.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so
So
I have
go
a
ahead.
confession. I've never read anything like that before, but now I'm intrigued.
Yay! Yay!
I'm
I'm
intrigued.
excited. I'm excited. So I will never write a fantasy, so it takes place like in the real world, just in a fake city that I came up with. Same with Styre Cove. Styre Cove, if you were to find where Styre Cove is on the map, it's where Camden, Maine is. So it's just like this little tiny, tiny, tiny town. And in Death's Darling, it's Saints Bay, and it's about an hour south of Boston is where I figure that it is. Yeah. So
Love
I don't
it.
know. I don't really like I don't really reference a lot of like where things are in a sense with this one.
Mhm.
I want people to be able to picture that like that Saints Bay could be in any country that you're in. Um, but in addition to that, I have a Christmas snowed in novella that takes place in Canada, and I'm really excited about that. So come November, I might actually end up being like two novellas. So
Ooh.
yeah, so we've got an MF story and then also an MM story as well.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Lots of things going on. Are
Mhm.
you gonna be putting that up on your website then when the
Yeah,
time's
I need when I what I need is I need to do up like a like coming up or coming soon, so I
coming
have to
soon?
start putting some stuff up there.
Right.
I'd have to say like after I finished the Star Cove series, I was burnt out. Like I wrote those in a year and a half. It took me like a long time to kind of get my groove back. So when it came to running it on the business side of things, I kind of tucked that aside. So like
Right.
now that I like literally since I've done the convention, like my mind has been like going crazy. I'm like, oh God, I gotta get this right. I gotta get like my schedule down. And because I'm indie, I can do whatever I want, right? Like I'm not held to anyone else's schedule. And often schedules do kind of freak me out a little bit, but again, it's in that 11th hour is where I shine. So what I need to do is set out some schedules so that I can get to that 11th hour so I can do that final push and get some things done.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I won't call
Yay.
it procrastination, but it kind of
Mhm.
is.
Yeah.
And when I know the deadline's there, I'm like, oh shit, and then I like race
Uh-huh.
and get
Yeah.
it done.
Yep,
So
exactly. Exactly. But you could have known for 3 months and you're still like, I'll deal with it later. That's mm, I don't know. I think maybe watching The Pit sounds a little more exciting right now. So
right,
that's what I've been
right.
doing.
And life sometimes gets in the way, so just go with it. And
Yep.
deadlines are meant to be extended.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I think there's also like um I've always kind of said to myself, like, don't take yourself too seriously,
Mhm.
right? Like the world is serious enough for what we really need in a day-to-day basis. So just yeah, just enjoy it. That's the whole thing. Like we just should be enjoying it.
Exactly. So, Tess, where can people find you? What's the best place?
Ooh, Amazon is the best place. So I do have a website, so it's tesswattersauthor.com. You can see some things on there, but like Amazon is really the best place to buy my books as well as my audiobook is through Audible. Um, and I'm on Instagram and I'm on TikTok. So if anyone wants to find me there, it's Tess Watters Author on both of those. I'm
Ooh,
also on Facebook as well, so it's just
yes.
minimal.
Yes. It's funny because I reached out to you on IG first, and then I wasn't getting anywhere. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
well, I'm going
missed
to
it.
go stalk
I
her
missed
on
it.
Facebook.
Yeah, and it's so odd because when I try to do it through Facebook to respond, it's like you can't respond to Dorothy. I'm like, oh my gosh, so I have to go in and search for you. And then I have to click on like six different things to get to you. It's really weird. But I'm not
Right.
sure how I managed to miss you on Instagram because that's definitely where I am the most these days.
I have to say, I really not an Instagram lover, and I don't even know how to
Mhm.
use it half the time. So I'm just like it's a hit and miss and pray and like God make this work.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
do a thing. Yep, do a thing.
and so if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I guess it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah,
And so yeah, I get you. It's challenging. All these different things want platforms want different things, and
yeah,
um, I just get used to one and then it changes. So whatever.
yeah. Well, I also deal with the fact because, so Tess Watters, that's a full pseudonym. So I keep my legal name isn't posted really anywhere. But so like if I'm on my phone on my Facebook or on Messenger, it's my personal one. And then for some reason I can't seem to get my Tess Water one to kind of show up. So it just kind of throws everything off. And I'm on my phone the most. It's been a long day.
I
So,
hear you.
anyways, I'm on my phone the most. So Instagram is like I don't have a personal account for Instagram. I just have my business account, just my
Right.
author one. Yeah.
Cool. Cool, cool. All the tricks of the trade for from Tess
Hmm.
Watters here. Go check out her Men of Style Cove novels, the trilogy. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. If I can binge read all three in a weekend, go get the first one. I promise you that you'll enjoy it. Thank you so much, Tess, for coming on.
Oh,
I know
thank you
it's
for
been a
having me.
Absolutely. I know it's been a long day. I don't want to keep you too much longer here. So, any last words for our guests and our readers?
Oh my gosh. You
And you
know
don't have
what? I'll
to.
give you a quote. I'll give you a quote from Over the Moon.
Okay.
Um, Finish your bacon first. There you
Yes.
go.
Finish
Yep.
your bacon first. All right,
Mm-hmm.
guys, you heard it here. Go check out tesswatersauthor.com. Go over to Amazon, get your copy today. And remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Between the Sheets. Share with all your romance author readers. And if you are an author and want to get on our show, please connect with me. You can email us at grahamdorothy408 at gmail.com or simply comment on one of our posts, and we'd be happy to connect with you. With that, see you same time, same channel next week. Bye for now.